What's good, my peoples? This is Zach Hankins here, and welcome to the Afterthoughts playoff prediction. As promised, I'm going to give you a preview on each of the matchups that we'll be seeing this weekend. And here's just a breakdown on who I predict will be going into next round and how many games I think they will be finishing in. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, first off, we got the Golden State Warriors versus the Portland Trailblazers. Now, do not assume because it's the Portland Trailblazers that the Golden State Warriors are going to sweep them. Okay, you just cannot assume that. The Portland Trailblazers have a lineup, have a backcourt between Lillard and McCollum that can actually get off just as much as the Splash Brothers. I can see these two teams going head to head in 3-point shooting. It's going to be a shootout, basically. Lillard and McCollum can both get hot, especially McCollum. Once McCollum gets going, he does not stop. It's hard to slow him down, just like Clay and Steph. The problem for Portland right now in this series, they got to find somebody that can basically defend against Durant and Draymond Green. That's going to be the main focus right now, and that's when Ed Davis comes in. Ed Davis will most likely be keyed off on Durant only because of his length and his size. And they're going to trust Farouk Amino to guard up against Draymond Green because Farouk Amino also has defense. But Amino is not necessarily a player you can push around like that. And not to forget to mention they have Georgic. Just like Chuck Barkley said in TNT the other night, Georgic has been a good addition for them in the trade deadline. Them trading Mason Plumlee for Georgic was the best move at this point. Georgia can box you out. You know what I'm saying? He could defend in the paint. He's, like I say, he's very aggressive. He fights for rebounds, and that's what the Portland Trailblazers are going to need. They're going to need that perimeter all-star, that perimeter player. I wouldn't necessarily call Georgia an all-star, but he plays like one. Because the problem with Golden State is that post game, okay? Zaza Pachulia is a downgrade from Bogut. Like I told everybody in my previous video, the Golden State Warriors don't have the same team they had last year, especially that bench. Okay, that's going to be the key to Portland right there. Like, the key to stopping Golden State this year is your bench has to put up more points than theirs. The opponent's team's bench is going to have to outscore the Golden State Warriors bench, and they're going to have to force the Steph and Clay and Draymond Green and Kevin Durant to play more minutes that they're not accustomed to playing. Durant has already had to get used to playing over 30-some minutes, at least 32 to maybe 33 minutes. They're going to have, so basically Portland's going to have their work cut out for them, but I got to give Portland at least 1 or 2 games. I say at least 2 games. I got Golden State ending this in game 6 because Portland, especially when Portland's at home, they get fired up. I've seen Lillard when he's going against Golden State. He's basically a player that you expect to be an MVP one day. He plays just like it. He plays to that high level. And this is a 7-game series. And yeah, the Portland Trail Blazers got at least 2 games out of it. And I know everybody can say because Curry wasn't there, but it still don't matter. I just don't see Golden State sweeping anybody this year with this team they have. Yeah, they got Kevin Durant, and that's going to definitely work out well for them. But all they have to do against Durant is have to know how to defend him. Force Durant to take shots he's not accustomed to taking. Durant is coming off an injury, so we got to see how that goes. But basically, I don't see necessarily. I don't see Portland getting swept. I'll give them at least 1 game. 1 game max, if not 2. It's just and only because, like I said, this matchup, Lillard and McCulloch are just as good as Steph and Clay. That's what's going to be interesting about these matchups right here. So yeah, I say Golden State game 6. They're going to close it out. But Lillard is going to at least get 1 game in. I say, you have to respect the Portland Trailblazers. You have to respect Damian Lillard. You have to respect Ed Davis. You have to respect McCulloch especially. So that's going to be a key for Portland. Like I said, they're going to Golden State. All they have to do is, just like I said, play their game. But like I said, be sharp with it. That's all they have to do against Portland. But also too, they can't allow Damian Lillard to get off. If they allow Damian Lillard to get off and be scoring 40-something points, they're going to have problems. If they allow McCulloch to also get off from the 3-point line. And see, the problem with Steph Curry, like I explained in my other video, defensively, he's kind of suspect. He's not that sharp defensively against certain guards. And Damian Lillard is one of them. So Curry is going to have to really man up and really go after Lillard. You cannot allow Lillard to get at least 28 to 30-something points in this playoff series right now. If he allows Lillard to have a game where Lillard is scoring 28 to 30, that might be an issue. So game 6 is Golden State. They're going to close it out 4-2. Next up, we got the matchup that everybody's been literally waiting on. This is the matchup everybody's going to be tuning in to see, especially Westbrook versus James Harden. Now this matchup to the victor goes to spoils because either one of them is going to go into the series being the MVP of the league, especially for Westbrook right now. And I told everybody in my other video that Westbrook's playing for a purpose right now. He would like nothing more than to beat the Rockets and then play Golden State in the next round and knock off Kevin Durant. That's his main objective right now. That's his mission. Westbrook's mission is to prove to the world that the Thunder can still win a championship. You know what I'm saying? With or without Durant. Since Durant chose to leave, Westbrook shows that he's faithful to his team. He's not going to just switch up like that. He believes that they can still have a chance. But for James Harden, to him, winning is everything right now. And I think this is when you're going to really see Harden show up. Okay? And especially if Harden doesn't get the MVP award. They choose Westbrook over Harden, Harden's going to really explode. And basically, this is going to be all how the Rockets defend against Westbrook's energy. Because James Harden and Westbrook, this is going to be very interesting. These two are playing each other. They know each other well. They're ex-teammates. But like I said, this is a good matchup. I could actually see this going to Game 7. And I know everybody thinking the Thunder don't have this good of a team. They're a 6 seed. But you can't, like I said, this is the postseason at the end of the day. This is a playoff series. Westbrook and Harden have a lot of playoff experience. And see, Westbrook's been there already like Harden has. But like it's not to mention you got Steven Adams, you got Enes Kanter, Anthony Morrow. You got guys who was on this team that was there last year. Okay, so this is gonna be like I said. I say 7. I say this is a 7-game series. I don't see near one of these teams running away from each other like that. It's gonna be close, especially at home. The Thunder, you're gonna see Westbrook turn up that much more in this playoff series. Okay, now he's getting a chance to actually lead his team and be the face of that franchise. He's gonna carry them out. Westbrook to me is gonna be the new Allen Iverson, basically. In the skill set wise, the way he doesn't have much help, he's the new AI. But James Harden and Steve Nash with D'Antoni. So like I said, this is a very interesting series. I say 6 if not 7 games, but I got the Rockets pulling it off only because of the team they have. Okay, Harden has a little bit more playmakers on there, a little bit more veterans, but with this Thunder team, there's really no telling. The way Westbrook is playing, and he's averaging 40, he has 42 triple doubles. And like I said, the thing the Thunder has right now that I feel they have over the Rockets and over most teams, they have a tall front court. Steven Adams and Enes Kanter are both almost 7-footers. And that's the thing. The Thunder have size on their front court. Not to forget to mention they got veteran Taj Gibson over there now. They have Doug McDermott, who in the TNT analysts, Chuck, Kenny, and Shaq, they all call him Doug McBuckets. Before McDermott went to the Thunder, he was the Bulls' best three-point shooter. That's what this Thunder team needs is more three-point shooters. See, to me, I'm predicting this is a 7-game series, but I got Rockets at 7 because, like I said, Harden has Eric Gordon on his side. He has Trevor Ariza. He has Nene over there. He has Ryan Anderson. Westbrook don't have that many veterans or that many all-stars over there. But still, it's going to be an interesting battle. Westbrook is definitely going to keep this Thunder into it. He's going to make it interesting. So, Rockets in 7. Now, to this matchup, we finally have a team we normally have not seen in the last 6-7 years. For the Utah Jazz versus the LA Clippers. And to me, the Jazz, like I said, the last time this Jazz was in the playoffs, Carlos Boozer, you had Paul Millsap, you had Darren Williams, when Darren Williams was the second best point guard lead next to Chris Paul. You had Mimic Okur and Kurylenko. That was the last Utah Jazz team that was actually in the playoffs. That was back in 2010. 2011. Or 2009, 2010. That was the last time you ever seen this team in a playoff series. It's been a drought since then. But Gordon Hayward has since then developed into a nice player. This is the year he's finally an all-star. This is his coming out party. This is his coming out year. On top of that, Dante Exum is actually a fishing guard. He could get going. Their favorites to me might be defensive player of the year. You have veterans in Boris Diaw, Joe Johnson, and George Hill, which actually worked out well because George Hill and Joe Johnson was good enough. They needed them to mentor them younger guards over there. But because the Clippers have more playoff experience and because they've been there the last 6 years, I got to give this to the Clippers. It's going to be a close series. I say Clippers in 6 games. Game 6. If not, it might go to a Game 7. I wouldn't be surprised to go to a Game 7 because the Utah Jazz got a solid team. Overall, they can defend well. They can outshoot most of the teams. They can keep up with anybody in their shooting. It's like watching the Miami Heat. They don't have, like I said, but the only difference between them and Miami Heat, like this Jazz team has a couple of marquee guys. But the thing is, DeAndre Jordan for the Clippers, he's playing to the level the Clippers need him to play. DeAndre Jordan is boxing you out. He's playing, you know what I'm saying? He's getting rebounds. He's averaging like 13. He's averaging at least about like 10 to 12 rebounds. Not to forget to mention, he's scoring more points, and he's gotten better from the free throw line. So DeAndre Jordan's playing a good level. Blake Griffin knows he has to make up for last year for missing all those games. Chris Paul's going to do his thing as a leader. And plus, Chris Paul's contract is pretty much up. Him and Blake Griffin's contract up. So Doc Rivers going to try to really have these guys playing hard before the summertime when they all might leave. So I got Clippers in Game 6. It's going to be 4-2 Clippers. If not, they're going to end it in Game 7. The Jazz is definitely going to fight. They're going to give them a run for the money. But like I said, just the Jazz, they have a lot of guys on there that has never been in a playoff series before. They never played in a 7-game series, so they finally getting a chance. They're going to get a taste of it, but experience goes a long way. I just can't see this Clipper team losing to the Jazz like that. They're going to be advancing next round. Like I said, I got them in at least 6 games. Now, brings us to the last matchup, which is the Spurs and the Grizzlies face each other again for the second year in a row. But like last year, this is going to be a sweep. I'll be honest with you. Like I feel sorry for Zach Randolph. I feel sorry for Marc Gasol, Tony Allen, and Mike Conley, because those guys have been together forever. The Memphis Grizzlies have basically kept that same core there. But see, the problem with the Grizzlies is just they have not reached an NBA championship even with that core in that lineup. Their best chance was against San Antonio in 2013, but then everybody saw how that turned out. And the thing about the Spurs are a second seed. They maintain that, but they got too many guys. They got too many weapons over there. They got too many perimeter all-stars, and it's just, like I said, it's just too overwhelming. And see, this Grizzly team, if you notice, the team is beginning to go through a lot of changes. They have a lot of new guys over there. But just the problem with this line, the Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol, they're getting older now. And Father Time is only catching up with those two. I think Marc Gasol has a little bit more time left, but Zach Randolph should be on his way to retirement as well. Like, he doesn't really have too much time. Like, but this Grizzly team need to do in the offseason, they may need to trade a lot of they veterans. They may need to trade these guys. Zach Randolph needs to get traded. I don't know if you're going to keep Tony Allen. You might need to release Tony Allen because he's just, like I said, he's no help to them. Yeah, Tony Allen has good defense, but he's not putting up enough points. He's not scoring 21 or 22 a game. It's just not going to happen. Tony Allen's he may give you 2 or 3 big shots, but he's just there for his defense. But even then, it's just not enough points. Vince Carter is old. Vince Carter should be retiring as well. This should be his last season. So I don't have Grizzlies winning this series. I say San Antonio's going to sweep it. This will be the only sweep in this Western Conference playoffs. And this is actually the first time in nearly 2 decades where we won't be seeing Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, in all of his career, I've never seen Tim Duncan miss the playoffs at all. It's weird to have Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker still there, but no Tim Duncan. And I think the main reason why Tim Duncan decided to retire is because he felt that he was slowing down this Spurs team. Remember, the Thunder ran through the Spurs team. The Spurs, like I said, they was just at a disadvantage because of the speed of Durant and Westbrook there. They have a lot of youngsters. They just couldn't keep up with Duncan. So Duncan felt him still playing at his age of 40 was just slowing him down. So basically, they signed LaMarcus Aldridge to be Duncan's replacement. Yeah, it's Kawhi Leonard's team. He's the leader, but LaMarcus Aldridge, for a big man, he's basically the only thing close to Tim Duncan as of now. In size, the length, and plus, LaMarcus Aldridge has a better shot than Tim Duncan did. LaMarcus Aldridge could give you a two or three threes, or more so if he needs to be. Him and Paul Gasol work out well together in that front court. Okay, Paul Gasol and LaMarcus Aldridge are the only thing close to Tim Duncan and David Robinson as far as the center and the power forward position, and that's going to be overwhelming enough for Memphis. Because Marc Gasol was injured last year, but still, he's going to have too much. He's going to have his hands tied. And I don't see nobody in the Grizzlies really slowing down Kawhi Leonard. And of course, even though Tony Parker and Ginobili as old as they are, they can still come through for you. Tony Parker still has a little bit left in the tank. And then like I said, you have Danny Green, you have Patty Mills, who's going to actually be that X factor coming off from them on the bench. So, and then you got Simmons, the way he's playing. Like I said, this Spurs, this is a sweep. Like I said, again, I feel very sorry for Memphis. Memphis Grizzlies could have been much better. Okay, but I think the problem with the Grizzlies, they weren't getting a lot of guys to come play for them. They couldn't get too many free agents, too many big name guys. They couldn't get a LeBron James. They couldn't get a Carmelo Anthony. They couldn't really get too many guys to really come through and play for them like that. Yeah, you got Chandler Parsons, but Chandler Parsons has been injured the last 3 or 4 seasons. Chandler Parsons, to me, he's not a small forward. So anyway, man, that's just my preview. Like Spurs in 4 games. So that's pretty much the matchups. So I got Golden State and OKC playing each other in the second round, which everybody still wants to see. They want to see can Westbrook go against Durant. That was the storyline this whole season. It was Westbrook versus Durant. And I got Clippers and I got the San Antonio Spurs in a rematch of 2 years ago. Y'all remember when the Clippers defeated San Antonio? They went on their way to play the Houston Rockets, which they gave up a 3-1 lead, but they beaten San Antonio, which was the first time they ever done that. So that's a rematch right there, and that's going to be very, very interesting. Matter of fact, I look forward to see a Clippers San Antonio matchup that I would Utah versus San Antonio. Because to me, Utah, like I said, they'll get swept for sure against San Antonio. If the Jazz do happen to make it past the Clippers, they're not beating San Antonio at all. Okay, and then I'll get to that in another video when it gets to the second round. But I'd rather see the Clippers go against San Antonio because it makes for a better matchup. It makes for a better series. So this is the Afterthought here. This is just giving you the NBA preview. Stay tuned because I'm going to do the Eastern Conference next after the Eastern Conference has been basically locked in because those teams are still battling. Seeds, like I said, 6, 7, and 8 are still battled. They're not locked in yet. They have 3 more games left. This is the Afterthought here. Y'all stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? I'll see you soon. And hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you want to see more videos. Take care. God bless.